After a bunch of false starts, it looks like we are live. Oh, good. That doesn't go to the... Really? There we go. All right. Hello, hello. Let's see if chat is working today. Ah, come on, buddy. I want you to hang out for a little bit before you go to bed. Don't bite my beard, okay? Hello, everybody. Yes, it has been a long time. A long time. I am doing well, or at least I'm doing better. I was probably sick with COVID for a couple weeks, and then last week OBS had a total fit. But yes, yes, little man. Hello, step up. Right. You don't like when I talk to myself, do you? Yeah, I'm having him hang out for a little bit while we get started. It's around his bedtime, but until he is ready for bed, we will put him up. So, here is what I'm doing. Over the last couple weeks, I was thinking about it, and while things are an interesting adventure in Reaper, I don't have any new music ready. And I kind of thought about it as like to take a break from that. I can go finish something that I was really enjoying before I stopped using Ableton, which was a project I had called Sand. Yes, you love me. Yes. It was an electro house tune, and it was probably one of the best things I had written for the genre. But I really did want to pick a focus for a while, and drum and bass is still kind of where I'm feeling the most excitement. But I felt like it would be a bit of a shame to have it completely unfinished. Oh, don't attack me! Why are you doing that? Is it your bedtime already? Do you want to just go to bed now? Are you grumpy? Are you grumpy little man? If I'm quiet, you'll be happy, but then they'll have nothing to listen to. And then they're just staring at me, staring at you. Anyway, so yeah, this project opens in Ableton. It's missing a couple things. So kind of like the remixes, it's easy enough for me to open it up and to get it working. And I think it'd be a good song to release. It doesn't need a lot of preamble. I think I'm just gonna put it out to the distributor once it's finished this week, and then try to turn around like a 2 to 3 week release time. Ow. Okay, I think it's your bedtime. Say goodbye, buddy. It's your bedtime. I'll be right back. Okay. I love him lots, but once he's like a little angry, he's like a toddler. If it's late, he starts to get antsy and get a little mad. Um, let's see. So yeah, that is what we are working on today. Yeah, it's something that I wanted to finish before, but I needed to pick a focus with the drum and bass stuff. And kind of circling back to it, it's a nice, I don't want to call it a filler release, but it's not like it's like a B-side, right? You finish a B-side thing to have something out the gate. Man, got a ton of people here today. You guys have been waiting patiently. All right. VST2 does not load very quickly. That is one thing I've noticed. All right, while that's loading, I do need to pull the drums from. Let's go with the afters. I think that actually had a solid set of drums that I can pull in. Because the kick and snare here are pretty mid. Yeah, today's going to be a Bitwig day. It's going to be faster for me to finish this in Bitwig than it will be for me to fight. Than it will be to render all the stems out, which, by the way, most of the stems aren't ready. And then I'd have to. Reaper is still a learning curve, and I'm going to be sitting here without a release after like 6 months. So I need to just bang something out. And at least this is a little bit faster. All right, so copy. Okay, and then paste. Golly, there's a lot of plugins to load here. Look at it, it is like taking its sweet time. I think this is just an indicator that VST2 does not have quite the performance that VST3 has, at least as for the wrapper under Linux. But anyway, yep, stream's looking good. Everything looks like it's working. Hooray! What else? Yeah, so I was just sick for while this is still loading and taking its sweet ass time. Yeah, I was sick for like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it was COVID, and it sucked. Usually when I get a cold like that, I'm like better in a couple days, and it just would not. It would not. Uh-oh. It is possible that the plugin host. Okay, they're just running real slow. Yeah, I thought I was going to recover quick, and then after like a week and a half, I was still sick. Just like, oh, when will this fucking end? And it dawned on me that the last time I got this ill was when I had COVID back a couple years ago. So I was like, I probably caught COVID at that concert and then was just like miserable for 2 weeks. But I survived. A little worse for wear, but I survived. Now we're back. Let's see. If this shit'll load. Holy shit, it's taking forever. I mean, if this project even loads. This is the one thing I worry about, because I did open this in Ableton on my Windows computer, and the one thing I don't want to do is have to fight Ableton and reinstall every single plugin on Windows, and then go dig up all of the installers and get that all configured just to get one song to work. And this, at least with Bitwig, they let you open up Ableton project files and try to convert it into a Bitwig format. So I'd rather it work here, but this is giving me an issue. What the fuck was that? Why did my mouse just decide to be what? Okay. Did I... Something over here. What the... Y'all saw that, right? What's up, DeGoofy? It's got a new name. Okay, well, no we're missing some plugins, which is fine. All right, well, the audio engine crapped out. Now, that doesn't bode well. Oh, yeah. Total application freeze. Okay. Can we, why? Okay, well, let's close this down for a sec and try that again. Oh, thank you, Simon. Appreciate it. All right, it looks like it's loaded. Maybe I just tried to do too much at once and it got grumpy. Lady Nunca, Simon, Blue Smoothie, DeGoofy, Christiano. Got a lot of people. Come on, plugins. You can do it. I believe in you. No, not the Jackal. I don't think that project ever really had any legs. No, this one was originally called Sand, and it was this electro house banger that I kind of wrapped up right before I started kind of doing the big relaunch, because I finished 3 electro songs. I finished Sand, Neon Nights, and I forget what the hell I called the other one, but it was like a kind of more progressive house tune. So I had all 3 of those. While this is loading, we can just chit chat, shall we? So I finished all those, and then it was like, okay, well, I need to pick a focus on what I'm trying to do if I want to get back onto the club circuit. And Sand was really good. The problem is there are no electro house labels anymore. That's not really a thing. That genre is basically fizzled out, and now it's like some places release bass house, but ultimately it's like that's a very niche, maybe a little old-fashioned sounding genre, at least by modern tastes. So I kind of pocketed that stuff. We tried to option it out, actually. I had a consultant guy I was working with, and he was trying to see if we could get a sync deal on it, so kind of sell it for a commercial or something, but there wasn't any real takers. Again, it's a very specific genre, and you either have buyers or you don't. So it sat dormant for a while. But I always liked it. I always liked it. It had a lot of energy. We probably worked on it in streams like a year or in some change ago. And I was thinking about it while I was sick, and I'm like, shit, there has been no releases for like 3 months. Like I put, what was it, end of May? Or beginning of May, end of April that I put out Accelerant. So that's May. That's June. If I'm still working in Reaper and still learning, it's probably going to be another month or so before I have something finished. So then that's July. And then you have a whole month lead in because you have to kind of put it into the system. Then you have to work on promo. And so that's like 5 months. And I'm like, yeah, I can't really not put music out. It's this algorithm bullshit makes it really hard. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, okay, well, we're kind of stuck trying to learn something new. At the same time, I got to put something out. So it's like, well, there's a couple things that I liked that I finished that just need to be retuned and fixed because they're like, some things weren't perfectly done. I had poor mixing for the kick and the sub, for example. Golly, it is taking a long time to load. It'll get there. I guess it'll get there. We can keep on chatting. Can you replay the song for us here? Yeah, I'll pull up a copy of it in a minute. I mean, it's got most of the pieces that work. The only thing that isn't there is the distortion, so I have to kind of come up with a new way to crunch some of the sounds together and then redo the kick and the snare, redo the ducking, and then do some chord work on some of the sampled instruments that I no longer use. But this one's really cool. I think I can finish it in a couple days, refinish it really, and then release it in like a couple weeks. And then I have another single, which we definitely worked on stream. Back to the Lab Again was the second single that I had finished in Bitwig. And I hadn't, I kind of put it to the side. It's imperfect. It definitely needed work to kind of really become a song that I was proud of, but it's another thing that I can do quickly to put it in the can and then actually release that one a bit more seriously. So while Reaper takes up a bunch of time to learn because it's challenging, it's not intuitive. With the assistance of Rano, thank you. It's been helpful as I learn, but it is a learning process and figuring out where my gaps are and getting efficient in the system. I mean, that is tantalizingly close. Look at that. Plugin host is not responding. Man, which plugin is giving it such a shit? That's the other thing that's always a challenge with these is whenever you have projects that aren't bounced down to audio, you're just like, ugh, 90% of the shit does not work. That's why the whole Next Tapes thing is like, oh, why doesn't it sound like the original? It's like, because I don't have any of the original stuff anymore. I have MIDI. So I end up remaking new shit just to put it together and get it done. But yeah, while I've been sick, how has everybody been? Hopefully you guys have been doing better. Looks like you're all chatty, so it's at least going well. I keep getting the alert. I don't know if you can see it. No, because the chat is covering it up. It's plugin host is not responding, so one or more of the plugins is just unhappy. Oh, let's see if I can dig around and find it. Oh, it's the Play VST. We can. Kilohertz stuff. It's just the kilohertz shit. Should just be loading fine. That's the. Okay. Drawing a lot more. That's good. Being creative. I have not been productive while I was sick. I have not touched anything. The only thing I did was I played around with some drums to get some feedback on sound design, and that was it. And then I kind of went back to just being crummy. All right, well, let's see. Well, no, I don't want to hit play, and then it all get angry at me. There is the possibility that I'm going to be very grumpy and forced to redo this in Ableton. One benefit to that is I know which plugins all my plugins that I own that made that song are still downloadable and runnable on Windows. So I do know that. I can get the Isotope crap that I gave up on a year ago to work again, and then it's like everything will be there except for one sampler instrument, and that's it. And that's easy enough to replace. The suck is just then it's 2-3 hours of me doing installers for one thing. But I guess sometimes that's the nature of the beast, right? You just gotta deal with it. Come on, load, damn you. Is it it's not the disk, because I know it's coming off of the shared drive. Drawing Risk of Rain stuff. Nice. I'm watching this little bar at the top right, and it is painfully close. I've got chip damage left. I love how I start the stream early, and I can't even start working until the actual time the stream is scheduled. That's great. It was loaded faster last time. Did at least the drums audio run? Should... Oh, did I grab all that? Well, no wonder this is all fucking jacked up. That shouldn't be in there. It just copied. Well, no wonder this thing got overloaded. Okay, well, let's delete that. We don't need those. I think we already have the hats. Ah, so XO is missing, so we don't have those. Very Somboy. Yeah, very much is. Again, like I said, it's kind of old-fashioned. That's why A little antiquated. But I like it. Alright, clip. That's why, because I had everything in clip control. Okay, I'm just an idiot. Okay. That's my fault. I grabbed the wrong thing. I'm already noticing that I want to do the things that I was doing with Reaper, and I'm trying to do this zoom in, and I couldn't. I was like, why isn't it working? Oh, right, because I don't have my hotkey set. It's already begun. There we go. Definitely just cheating pretty aggressively with Pro MB Smasher, which is fine. Sorry, not Pro MB. I got rid of that. Yeah, trash too, man. I used to put that thing on everything. That's unfortunate. I think generally for this one then, as much as I hate to say it, I'm probably gonna have to write a drum loop in Bitwig, take this back to Ableton because I need trash too. All of these synths are kind of dependent on whatever wave shaping I did, and I don't remember quite the characteristic I did for that. And it was multi-band wave shaping, so I handled each band separately. Not a big deal. That's just more of a that's going to be more of me messing with it later. I'll show you what it originally sounded like. Give me a second. Project archives. Music project archives. Yeah, here it is. So I think that the parts about it that I like are definitely the texture, and I can get that texture back. I have all the tools. I just have to reinstall them on Windows. Perhaps to save myself some trouble, I open as much as I can in Windows, reinstall a bunch of shit, and just make it work again, which will be annoying, but doable. Then bounce it down to audio, send it back to Bitwig, and then I can wrap up the mix master in Bitwig and do some extra effects and whatever. So that'd be a project I do during the week because I don't even have OBS on Windows, so I can't even show what I'm gonna do. But I'll go get that because texture wise, I'm losing a lot without the Trash 2 element that I did. So yeah. Big thing, honestly, I just wanted to fix the drums. I think the drums were poorly mixed, and I think that any of the other components are just missing some stuff. Fuck. I'll have to get EXO again too. That's all right. I'll just have to go through the gamut and install everything that I've since stopped using because they don't have Linux alternatives. But yeah. So there's that one. Let's see. Project that will open far easier is going to be back to the lab again. So we can kind of crack that open today and take a look. Open file. I had a lot of projects in 2023. There was the Kingdom Hearts thing. There was the Rocket Can thing. Propulsion. I don't even know what the hell that became. Oh, let's see. Was it 2022? I think so. Yeah, that was the year. That was the first year. So back to the lab again. I think the things here with back to the lab were the drums. I was not super enthused with how they turned out. I think that was pretty early in the production process. All right. See, this should open up much easier. Yeah, because it's not a bunch of wacky plugins and stuff. Devin, trying to have a better room for myself and start producing. Any speakers that you would recommend? Yes. I'll tell you that I think I'm zoomed in a little bit. Top of my head was getting cut off there. I ended up buying the Focals. I want to call them the Alpha. Hang on, I'll have to look it up. 1 sec. Alpha. Yeah, the 6.5 inch Focals, the Evo Alpha 80s. So these were a little bit pricier. I think the pair cost just about $1,000. But and it's kind of hard because I'd have to move the camera. But they're pretty big. And the nice, if you're working with stuff that is bass music oriented, you want to have monitors that have big diaphragms. And the reason is the bigger the diaphragm, the lower the frequency range becomes. Some people produce with a sub. I don't like that, mostly because the sub is ultra specific at a particular frequency range. And like, let's say you have some okay top monitors, but then your sub is like taking over the whole room. All you're going to hear is sub, and it's going to be hard for you to mix without messing it up. But those are kind of pricey, right? So the Focals are kind of pricey. The other reason I like them is they have a front port. So the port is what allows like the kind of bass sounds to kind of be scooped through and pushed out the bottom instead of bouncing off the back of the wall and then back at you again. I still have them, but my Yamaha HS5s were really nice. I think they were a little bit on the bright side, so the characteristic was brightness, crispness. and sometimes that's a little bit harsh on the ears. Whereas these, I can work at a comfortable volume and hear just about everything in the spectrum. And then for fine detail work, I have my Audio-Technica headphones. So bigger is kind of better, but there are diminishing returns. So if you go too big, if you have a small room and your speakers are too big, your reflections are going to just suck and it's going to bounce all over the place and do weird stuff. That's why I had to build these absorption panels to try. You see the little bits of white on the screen there? Those are 2x4s that have been turned into a frame, and then inside that is denim sound absorption, which is like I ordered it from a company and then cut it to size and put it together. Not my best handiwork, but they were kind of cheap. So based on the size of your room, you don't want to overblow your speakers because then your reflections are going to just be unbearable and it's going to be sound bouncing everywhere. You can't even tell where it's coming from. But if you go too small, you're going to hear like none of the details that you want. Yamaha's, the HS5, I would say go for the HS7. I want to say there's another one bigger than that. Don't get Rockets. I'm sorry, Rocket, KRK, but they've always kind of been notorious for being mid at best. They're cheap. If you need a pair, they're the ones to get. If you can afford anything else, there's probably just better manufacturers. Adams have a really good. They're expensive, but the Adams are very well liked by a lot of producers, and I was very much considering those. They have fancy tweeters at the top that are supposed to be really nice, but I would have, for the same price as these larger ones that I got with the Focals, I would have been stuck with a smaller set of Adams, which is what I was trying to replace my smaller speakers to get more presence and get lower response on everything. So, anywho, that would be kind of like some suggestions to kind of get started. Yeah, it's cool. Thanks so much. I'm kind of just tired of being with headphones, and there's some music that can't be heard in headphones. I agree. And the other thing too, it's tough when you're in headphones because you're gonna end up fatiguing yourself way faster working in cans the whole time. That happens to me all the time. And that's why I prefer working with just good monitors that I can kind of relax and enjoy and hear the stereo space, kind of feel how it feels in the room versus kind of just being crammed up in here. But you do want a good pair of cans because there are things that you're just going to miss because you're in the room is going to color the sound. There's other things coloring it, the reflections, all that jazz. You do not have an engineered room, so it's going to be like, well, it's not inert or dead. There's going to be bounce, there's going to be reverb, other things. So then you take your headphones, you're like, that's what it really sounds like in isolation. But yeah, all right. So this, let's see what opens. That's crispy. All right, that version I've done something to it. I'm not sure what. All right. Let's open up. There's probably a slightly older version than that. Yeah, okay. I've definitely opened this thing up a few times. So 2023 Masters 5. It was probably the last time I opened it. Let's see if that one's the cleaner one. Let me close. Not save changes. This one's another one where it's just some drum cleanup would be very, very nice. Again, I have better drum presets, so I can kind of pull. The arrangement's the same, so that shouldn't be too hard. I can just drop the MIDI in with new drums, and that should make it nicer. Definitely the weird mix choices, though. Let's see how it goes. I'm still annoyed I couldn't just work in Bitwig. I'm going to have to open up Ableton for Sand. I'll have to think of a new name for that, too, to kind of fit with the sciencey theme that we've been rolling with for 2 years now. I might just call it Silica or something. Ah, I am missing that. That's why. Tonal balance control Pro L2. Because I was on Windows using Bitwig. That's why this one sounds weird. Because I need to go chase down a couple plugins there. At least that's the Milda one, which I do own the multi-band wave shaper, but that's going to require me to kind of dig that up. So once again, I'm going to have to just do some work in Windows. But most of this seems to work okay. Oh, did I crash it? I've just crashed it. Oh, Bitwig. Come on, man. I just wanted to. I'll try to do that again. That's loading. It said activate the audio engine. Is it just fully borked? Shouldn't be. Man, I am just having some rough luck on this today. Why? Okay, let's just fully close this because it's obviously like having a shit fit. Awesome. Stability problems. Who knew? Who knew indeed? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm trying to open that again. I try to open the other thing again. Where did it get saved to? File. Afters. Just need to pull that one bit out. Nope. Drums audio should go out here. Good. That should have the receiver. Yes. Okay. We'll see. You guys. Down. Paste. Come on. Shouldn't be so difficult. These are plugins that I got. Okay. All right. I think it was just because it was in the middle of playing. Now, I'm gonna mute you. Mute you. I'm going to take all of these because I do like them. I'm going to consolidate. Put this. Why is it so? Oh, is it because all those are there? Why aren't you playing? Okay, where's it outputting to? Drums master. Be out here. Why am I not hearing anything? Let me pull these out because something's a little fucky here. Okay. That is super hot. Hang on. Oh. why isn't this playing? Something. Oh, duh. I think it's primarily the drums and then maybe some of the sound design. And then sand we just have to spool up. So this will be my homework the rest of this week. Yeah, so there's a couple things missing that I have to go kind of chase down. I don't know if I'm going to be 1-to-1 because I used to use Opus a lot and I don't pay for that subscription anymore. And that's where a lot of these choral elements come in. I can replace them. That's not a big deal. There's some texture stuff that's not working super great, but I can kind of fix that. What do we got here? Hang on. The other thing too is just the way I used to do things. I have a lot of side chaining that's very very hands off, and I think I can clean that up. I think the melody harmony stuff here is awesome. I really like right here. Yeah, I do too. I think the harmonies are really good. I think the drums, honestly, the only thing that doesn't work with the original drums is the kick and the snare. And that's not a terribly difficult sub that I can do because I really already have the synth component and the synth components of the kick and the snare done. I just have to kind of relayer them up. That's not bad. I guess okay. I don't think I necessarily have to leave. No, that one's Opus 2. What the hell did I have here? I put in a polygrid quick. That one's pretty important. That's going to be really important to remake because that was a pretty important textural element. Yeah, so I used Opus in a lot of places for choirs and things. I can replace those or get rid of them outright. I think the song will sound good. I think I do want to redo one bit of sound design, which I always didn't like this Reese. All right. So minor tweaks here. Drums, mix down's mostly good. Kind of want to revisit that one Reese because I think it's a little crispy and it kind of sounds out of place. It's missing texture. Replacing some of these elements won't be too bad. I think that's pretty doable. I can do it all here. I don't think I need to reinstall Bitwig on the other computer because like the only things that are missing, I kind of have to redo anyway. Probably use Phase Plant for the choir bits. I think those will work good. But sand for sure, or silica, or whatever the fuck I end up calling that, that is going to require me to re-download all the plugins for Ableton. It's trash too. I don't remember how I did the wave shaping, and I'm pretty sure that it was each band had a very particular shape, so it'll be good to re-download that, look at how it was done, and then bounce it all down to audio so I can kind of work on it. A bit of a short one today. I don't have anything really new to work on. Obviously, we were just kind of going through memory lane on Bitwig here. And I hadn't actually done the serious like breakdown of any of these things anyway. Yeah, Reaper is good. I think this is one interesting thing. I'm going backwards and opening up Ableton. Ableton felt quaint. I felt very limited with how I was interfacing with things, and I was frustrated with how that was all kind of coming together. And yeah, it was not a super fun experience going back into Ableton. Right click, there wasn't any context menus that I was kind of surprised about. I didn't remember that being a problem, but I guess it's all shortcuts if you want some of that shit, if it's even there. And then opening up Bitwig this week, I was refreshing to be like, yeah, that's just a better version of Ableton. I think that kind of holds true still. While I'm still learning Reaper and I'm still figuring out how that whole thing comes together, that's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty robust. I'm the headache of learning it is ultimately going to be worth it in the end. I think that's sort of the deal here. Can you send waves of Ultra Gore easy? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Oh, there's a new vet. I'm gonna upgrade through the package manager. Yes, I think this one, as far as like getting a track started, the thing here that I don't love are the drums, and I think that's holding my productivity back. think I need to circle back, come up with not better drums. I actually like the drums here, but I need the groove to feel good, and then I need to just start writing bass stuff. Oop, fucked up. Oh no. Oh, I definitely fucked up. Nope, no, we're good. There we go. And yeah, I don't love this bass line. Oh, thank you, Dan. Like, I like the bass line, I don't love the bass line, but I think we can kind of come back. We can come back to this after I get these other things done. And really, it's to pad out my release schedule, so I'm not in a big rush. Brop. No brops. We don't need the brops. Oh, whoops, I had the camera on. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I think I've got a busy week. I'm gonna work on this stuff, and I'll likely wrap up some shit on Friday for the stream. That's not true. I think Friday is gonna be an art stream because I have to go back and fix Slime Dude's render was all jacked up from one of the version updates, which is unfortunate. And yeah, so Blender stream on Friday, probably, unless I didn't finish all the shit I said I was going to. Yeah, I think Sand is going to become something. I think that other song's definitely become something. I just need to sit down and just kind of massage it into place and then put them out on schedule. Again, they're more like filler releases for the summer because I'm not going to have a song finished in Reaper for at least another month or some change. So I want to make sure that I'm consistent on the schedule. I'll start posting shorts again starting on Wednesday. I got a batch of them from my guy a couple weeks ago. I've just been too sick to do any of that admin stuff. By the way, you dinglings, yes, you did not tell me that my audio was super fucked up for like half of the sessions over the spring of this year. I was listening back to some of the edits, and it's like the audio is super clipped as if my face was all in the microphone. I think what happened is I had changed the volume controls, and I didn't pay attention on some of the streams, and so my audio was cooked. I'm probably still going to post those clips because I gotta feed the beast. I gotta feed the algo. But yeah, you guys needed to tell me that shit was fixed or broken so I could fix it. Anyway, well, thanks for coming by, Dan. Sorry, I'm kind of getting ready to wrap up here. Andy, Landy, and company, Simon and friends. Oh, and pro tip: if you think I'm ignoring you, the answer is probably yes. If you ask the same questions a lot, like, can I get a song, please? You can go buy them or wait until they're released. I'm amiable to stuff, but like, I can read. I'm checking in on things, so just keep that in mind. And I don't want to start like putting people in timeout for stupid shit because that'd be like I don't want to treat you guys like children. So, anywhoosies. I will see you guys on the flip side. And yeah, you guys have yourselves a good week. I'll see you on Friday.